We've already told you that today our focus is on the world of disabilities.
Yeah.
Great to have your company on Weekend Deal. And of course, we enjoyed the play by our special, amazing artist who opened our show. He's Gabriel Samuel, a.k.a. Sags Zaddy.
That's the name I really like. I don't know tell about Zaddy.
Ooh, and it's a very interesting story that he has for us to listen to and be inspired by. Gabriel Samuel was not born blind. He has once seen us. He's been watching NTA for many years. Gabriel, your story so inspired us. We said we must talk with you today. Now, the whole world is listening. Tell us about a very interesting journey that has inspired many up to this time.
Me, myself, and I, a musical enthusiast. I'm a swimmer. Of a revolutionary school of thoughts. I was born and bred in Lagos, in Koka side of Lagos, Koka Suyomiri specifically. I was not born blind, as you mentioned earlier. Glaucoma happened along the way, of journey of life.
But in spite of that, you play the sax?
Yeah, I played the sax, the flutes, and a little bit of the piano.
But how did you, for somebody who was seen before,
yes,
how was the reality of now being visually impaired? How did you take it? Your process through accepting your present reality, how was it for you?
I have no other choice. They say if life show you pepper, you need pepper soup.
Wow.
I like that.
So I convert obstacles to opportunities, stumbling block to stepping stone.
Nice.
I have no other choice than to forge ahead. Though it might not be easy, but it's possible, and it's the possibility that's what keeps me driving.
I think that's amazing. And he's playing the likes of late Sound Sultan, Sonny Badu, and other internationally reputed artists. We celebrate you today, Gabriel Samuel. What an inspiration.
Well done. Okay, I know we're so moved by his story and everything he has told us, even before the show started, that we got straight into the conversation. But let's see his profile. It will tell us more. Nostalgic.
NTA many years ago, so he grew up on the amazing things NTA has been delivering to Nigeria and the world. Up you, and of the NTA family. Great memories he has resurrected indeed. Well, it's time for our background feature. Uju Wakalo has been quite busy, and she's been talking with Mr. Wade, who was... He's a man that wears many caps. He's been, at the time, he was an engineer, he was a banker, he went into construction.
Yes.
But today, he's a restaurateur. That means he's an entrepreneur. But he has time to make amazing videos on YouTube. Uju is speaking with him and another lady. When we return, Patience tells us a bit about the other person.
Visually impaired. I lost my sight to an ailment called glaucoma. You're not going to believe this. This is what has never been done before and is about to go down. I'm about to do the unbelievable. Yeah. All right. You thought I was going to do that, right? Nah, I was just getting my sunglasses for the journey that lies ahead. All right, I'm heading to the gym right now. And it takes about 2.4 kilometers, and I'm going to be walking for about 50 minutes. Come with me. The show is the best you can. I'm about 5-10 minutes into the journey, and I'm going to be crossing to the other side of the road. As a matter of fact, there are about 15 crosses right from home to the gym.
Any person with disability has that uniqueness. The blind has their unique features. You see a blind man, oh, that is a blind man, but deep inside that person is very unique. Doing things by themselves, moving around freely.
Yeah, getting right into the gym. Hey, hi guys, how you doing? All right, great, thanks. All right, so I think the first thing to ensure when you get into the gym, like what I've always done, is to have a risk assessment of the gym, to know where all the equipment are that you'll be going on. And for me, the way I've been able to note the layout, I have to my left, I have the treadmill, and next to the treadmill, I have a cross trainers. And one thing that is very important to make sure you're out of danger is to protect your face. And what I do is just kind of like, have my hand shield my face, against any equipment that might stand in my way, and to make sure that I'm wearing my shin pads right there to protect my shins.
You see a deaf man, oh, this person cannot hear another, but somehow, with a little bit of support, he moves around freely, and of course, with the aid of interpreters and some other necessary things. Persons with albinism has issue of sight, low vision. Somebody you see that is blind, like my dear sister sitting here, you know clearly this is a blind person. But for somebody with albinism, it could even be more than that. Because for somebody like me, I don't use the braille, I strain to read, to do a lot of things. It's only somebody who moves very close that knows that challenge of vision, low vision, is there. And it's a very terrible thing.
Would you make up yourself without a mirror? I sure bet you can't. Well, yes, she can.
My name is Lydia. I'm a person with visual impairment. Although my eyes are opened, but I can't see. I'm here to make myself up, trying to show you how I, dress up before my day-to-day activities. So there's something we believe that despite an impairment of any kind, we can still live like a person without one. The fact that we're with any form of disability doesn't mean we should look shabby or not well dressed.
Culinary dish making is a task that I bet you can't handle without your eyes.
What would you be making for us today?
I want to make a sauce.
I bet you can't do it with your eyes closed or blindfolded. Can you?
I'll do it with blindfolded.
You should find something there.
Okay.
Wow. Bravo.
Oh, there's not enough oil. That was my fear.
Liti, Channel 10.
The human
Okay, so today is quite interesting and exciting because we are in a world that, like I said in the beginning, a lot of us misunderstand. It is a world of a lot of innovation and strength. Now, we'll be going to NTA Lagos and we'll be talking about ability in disability.
Uniquely designed to aid our navigation through life. Our hands, legs, and eyes are key parts of our body that we cannot do without. Imagine what happens when one or more of these parts cease to function as it should. It is usually overwhelming. To survive the hustle and bustle of daily life in our world requires a high level of intelligence and willpower for someone who is physically fit. How much more for a person with disability?
Transport. For my place to here is a lot of challenges. From Ikorodu to Surulere, I believe you can see how distant this place is. So many of my colleagues that they are playing now, they are coming from far places like Ikorodu, Abuja, all this stuff. And then there is no more capital on this thing. See if you can see some sponsors, some people that can sponsor this our game, that will be having a lot of tournaments. Ever since that we took that, we were having some money in our pockets.
In a world that often labels disability as a limitation, these exceptional Nigerians, Kobams Asukwo, Akinde Oluwaseun Tony, Flora Ugunwa, Onyinye Mark are changing the narrative and breaking barriers within Nigeria and the global stage in their various spheres of influence.
For a new world.
Folashade Oluwafemi Ayo, a name forever etched in history, a two-time Paralympic champion, lifted 167 kg to clinch gold in para-powerlifting at Paris 2024 and beat world record once again. She narrates what has kept her going, while also sharing her opinion on how to fulfill the vision, inclusion as it concerns persons with disability.
Well, I'll say with the support of my husband, thank God for the kind of man he is. He's a sportsman like me. Because I believe if I marry ordinary man that is not into sport, I will not find it very easy. And I thank my mother. She's always been there for me in prayers. Whenever I just say, this place is failing me, you know mothers, she will say, yeah, okay, what will you take? Okay, should I boil water for you? Mama, don't worry. So I really appreciate her. She's a good mother. So I want to build my own academy so that they will come and train. From there, at least they will get their own goal. They will get to that place they want to reach. There is a right for disability in Nigeria. They should create more jobs, more opportunities for people living with disability, so that at least they will be self-independent.
Akinde Oluwaseun Tony, a basketball champion representing Nigeria Wheelchair Basketball Federation, believes that there are a lot of untapped potentials amongst those living with disabilities. He calls for the intervention of the government.
Meant to just please to look into our hands and help us with at least to include us in anything that they are doing in this country. Like this sport is only, this is our office. We don't have any other things to do. Like people with able now, if they are doing sports, they can easily enter force, like police or soldier. But there's no how. We can just join all these force. If government can help us If they are doing like 2 for Ebu, they can do like 5 or 6 for us, because this is what we just have. With this sport, you can achieve a lot. If government can please help us to put more money. That's why we physically challenged. We are facing a lot.
These individuals are not just stars in their various fields. They are mothers, fathers, students, fighters, dreamers, and nation builders. With every lift, throw, goal, and voice, they echo one powerful truth. Disability is not inability. It is a different kind of strength. A staring reminder that vision isn't only what we see, but what we believe is possible.
It's great to have you keep our company today. Today is a very special day for many of us because our hearts are getting really warmed up by seeing what the special group of people have been able to achieve in spite of some obvious challenges. Our topic today is on the unique world of disabilities, and our guests are also here. We want to welcome them very warmly. First up, I welcome Lawrence Idemudia Edelifo. Lawrence Idemudia Edelifo is Acting Director, Social Integration, National Commission for People with Disabilities. He has a profile, and we'll see it now.
Nice picture. Deal. Okay. Wow. Okay, he's not alone. We have another gentleman here looking all dapper. He is the Acting Director, Compliance and Enforcement, National Commissioner for Persons with Disability. He is Nkem Uchebolam. Let's see his profile. Here, come back.
Barrister Ikem, we welcome you to Weekend Deal.
Thank you very much.
What an exciting opportunity this is. Like you told us, we've met before. Many of us have met before. I know you've been watching the NTA as you often do. Thank you for making the time to be with us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I do know that you're the national president of the Association of Lawyers with Disabilities. Great one. So let me set the tone with you first up. What's it been like? What's the journey been like? Were you born just as you are, or something happened along the way?
Yeah, I was not born with a disability. I survived polio at the age of 4.
Wow.
And, it was at a point, I actually passed out, like, after hours of of unconsciousness in the course of, the polio, well, I say sickness, because, it comes in a way that, you are sick, you fall sick, and over a period of time, it was during recovery that it will now be realized that you have lost mobility in some critical parts of your body, connecting to the central nervous system. So within that period, it was, but God, maybe saw tomorrow and brought me back to life. So eventually, I lost the 2 legs, like about 80% mobility. on the 2 legs, but the other parts of the body, God kept them. But there are many people that, became quadriplegic as a result of polio. Polio can even cause multiple sclerosis, where you see the spinal cord twisting into maybe 3 or 4, cuffs, and that is sclerosis. So sometimes when I look at myself and look at some other people that are, very much ravaged by polio,
we are grateful.
Yeah,
we are grateful and inspired. Yes, inspired. And I'm still coming back to you before we go to him, because it's beautiful to see you being grateful in all this. It's just inspiring, like Thelma rightly said. But at what point did you move on to say, okay, now I have to move on from this and become a lawyer and become something? How was that transition for you? I'd like to know.
Now, at a point in my life, I'm the last born of my family, and was very clinging to my mom, late now, and it was a very, pathetic situation when I was told that I have to leave home at the age of 7 to go to a rehabilitation center.
Okay.
So my mom cried, but my father said, no, we just have to do this for him.
So you can make something of yourself?
Yes. So when I got there, I did the primary school at the Cheshire home in Olo. What happens during holidays, they will come and pick me back to the house for the holidays. Then when school resumes, it's always a very emotional time to go back. So, it continued like that. So when I finished primary, got into secondary school, my father called me and said, there is only one option for you in life, is to go to school.
Okay.
You can't do any other thing. And I am my children, your brothers, your sisters, will make sure that you go to school. So you just have to concentrate. So that I did, and eventually, I would say the rest is history.
Indeed.
Today, I'm a lawyer.
We are honored to have you. And as always, your stories are so inspiring. We were talking with Samuel Gabriel earlier. He used to watch NTA. He knows of AM Express and many NTA programs. And today, even though he's visually impaired, nothing has stopped him. In fact, you guys are unstoppable. And please, let's give them their flowers. Thank you so much for being here to inspire more people in our world today. And we have another guest, like we met him earlier, Lawrence Edelifo, Acting Director, Social Integration of the National Commission for People with Disabilities. Let's invite him and get his own viewpoint on what we're discussing at this point. We do know that beyond their talent, inspirations, and aspirations, people with disabilities face some challenges. Moving from place to place sometimes, even letting the world know that they are capable. So I want to hear from Mr. Lawrence Edelifo. I know he's married with children. He is a hearing impaired. That's why we have somebody here who is passing on the message very clearly to him. Let's hear from Mr. Lawrence. What's life like? Was he born with the hearing impediment, or something happened along the line?
Thank you very much. I was not born deaf. That is why I still have my birth. That's why I was in Class 5 secondary school downtown. I was the president of the village student union. So normally every Christmas we come to so I do the preparation for our celebration. So on this one, we had a transaction with some people that do not come. We used to shout them and call them fine. So developing no problem. Involve police because we fought. So everything was okay. Next, New Year Day, well celebrated with friends. As I used to say, ended my glowing youth. Because on that day, in the evening, after our celebration, there was masquerade show in the village called all of us youth to come out and pray for us. So I came out as ordered too. So going back home, I had some weird tone still haunt me till today. Went to sleep. So the middle of the night, I woke up. Started roaming around the room. Then sat down, vomit. That is that. Sickness started. Went back to bed. To stand up become a problem. So it was my own mother was dead. My father was still alive. My stepmother, no see me. I came to greet me. What is wrong? I have to run to call my father. If we don't carry the Demudia out of the village, he will die. So they carry me to. He got our local government headquarters, hospital. Arrived there, no drug. Drips. The nurse man told me, I could not walk, just lying like that.
What?
Can still talk. So just lying like that. The nurse patient to me advised my father to take me to one village so that I will not die here. They carry me there. So from there I started to ask my father, it is raining. I need to drink rainwater. Which rain?
Wow.
Sometimes I will sleep. I said generator is making noise. If you off it, I can sleep. I never knew that it was my
hearing.
As at that time, I could not even walk or move. Again, my father had to carry me to toilet to bathe. That noise took my hearing away. After 3 months, in that native doctor place, I was taken to Benin City. First to psychiatric hospital, thinking that I was mad or something. Test, nothing. Carried to UBT, University of Benin Teaching Hospital. Come next week, like that. In frustration, they carried me to Sapele, one CAC, Catholic Christian Apostolic Church, Christ Apostolic Church. That is where I stay. They pray. I started to walk from there. After some time, back to Benin, and then to live with one of my sisters at Abuja. I've become a deaf. I cannot hear again. So while there, they would not even allow me to do anything. And I was in class 5. That sickness started January. May was our final exam. So one of the day I just decided, because people used to give me money, decided to leave Auchi to Igara to meet my cousin and other classmates. Collect some books, come back to Auchi. Started reading. And when the exam proper came, I went back. All my classmates were surprised. What happened? Life like that. I became deaf. But today, we thank God. God has a way. He have. If not for the deafness, I would not be where I am today. So every challenge, there is an opportunity.
Indeed. In every challenge, there's an opportunity.
I'm listening, and I'm sure Nigerians are as inspired as I am of your story. Okay, moving forward, what did you now decide to do with your life? Moving forward, what did you read in the university, and what did you decide to do with your life that got you to this position?
It is a long story. You see, I was in the village, I have to resort to family at first. But year in, year out, I see my mate, Junior, coming back, flashing on me. So one day I told my father, I'm leaving the village. Hi, to where? I don't know, but I must leave. I was helpless, so he decided to pray for me. So from my village, I went to my brother, elder brother, told him I need money to enroll for GCE then, so I can further my education.
Further your education.
That's me. If I had the certificate, what will I do with it?
Then what will you do with it? Can you imagine? Can you imagine what somebody...
They asked me if I sit for the exam and pass and I have the certificate, what will I do with it with your deafness? Well, I moved to other relative. Then Benin. I spent 1 month before I arrived in Lagos. Work with Celestial Church. Railway. I tried to see National Advisory Council for the Deaf. So they sent me to Benin back again. To meet the secretary then. So he took our details. Later on, when there was opportunity for trained person with disability, I think Governor Iniega then gave us more job. It's while on that job that I met someone who finished Federal College of Education Special. He came to me, I could not sign. I was to document him.
Okay.
I said, you are deaf? Yes. There is a place you can go. Where? Federal College of Education Special. You will be trained there, you can sign, you become useful. True. So I took the entrance exam. I have not sat for GCT then, but I know with that sickness, I was able to have 4 credit then, only to make English to further. So I took the College of Education entrance exam. PC, they call it a Polytechnic, College of Education entrance exam. I went to Lagos. When I passed, when the result came out, met a friend who led me to Oyo. When I got there, the registrar then said, oh, your result is so good. We should go and sit for GCE and go to the university instead of waiting years. I told him I need to start somewhere. As we were arguing, he was not ready to admit me. As we were arguing, one of the men working with the registrar, working with the provost of the college came. So I had the conversation. I was away from Bender. This is my brother. Please. Admit it. That is how I entered Federal College of Education Special to read Education of the Hearing and social studies.
Nice.
So from there, I went to graduate as the best student.
Oh, wow.
As God will have it, I paid for direct entry. Wanted to study law. But because of mathematics, the head of law refused to admit me. Federal Ministry of Education, Center for Support Services for the Deaf, played with him. So one of the lecturers in guidance and counseling who knows about deaf and work with the Center for Support Services for Deaf called me, brought the head of Center for Support Services for the Deaf. So we met. He told me, life does not end with one course. If they are not ready to admit you,
to give you law,
I will admit you to my department. That is school guidance and counseling. We accepted, was admitted. I passed out. After that, came to Abuja to serve. While serving, I got work also. Then I met someone who told me about Ford Foundation scholarship. I applied. The first time I missed it because that I'm not familiar with He emailed and computer. I went late. So the second operator came. I took it also. Got accepted. Then I went to Gaudet University, Washington DC to read school guidance and
amazing journey.
Wow.
So, we say thank you for sharing.
Amazing.
And with all these inspiring stories, you know, you see that they are hardly ever daunted.
Yes.
And this is a message to all of us, you know. If obstacles come from north, south, go west. If not, go east.
Yes.
Just keep maneuvering your way.
Yes. Keep
as
moving.
long as you are determined, you will get it done. Let's talk to Barrister. Barrister, he came, yeah. Okay. Being a lawyer, you know, I know there are a gamut of cases that you take to the court because you have a special jurisdiction and you want to rep them well. What is that place like? What is happening with people with disabilities? What challenges are they facing? How have their rights been impinged on? And when you go to court, what happens? Tell us, what cases have taken to court and what is the outcome in most cases? I'd love to see you in court, by the way.
Okay, what happened is that prior to my deployment to the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, I was at the Federal Ministry of Justice, Department of Public Prosecutions. So in public prosecutions, we deal with matters of crime and criminality. So at a point, for a very long period of time, I did prosecute from there. And I know that basically the issues of access to justice for persons with disabilities is still having a huge challenge because of accessibility, or structural accessibility. And is just of recent with the coming into with the enactment of the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act 2018 that you can now begin to see some of the courts having structured in a way, especially the ones that have been built newly. So that issue of inaccessibility is a major setback for access to justice for persons with disabilities. But as a player in the, as a minister in the temple of justice, who has, prosecuted and who is now, working to ensure compliance with the provisions of the law and overseeing enforcement. Now, the two looked a bit different. Now, in Nigeria, because of the moratorium that was, that were placed on the, enforcement of the act, which elapsed like a year ago, we have not seen, most of the cases in court, challenging these, structural, defects. Because the law felt, the drafters of the law felt that there should be time for retrofitting, and remodeling of structures. So that is where we are now. But then the commission has developed a regulation, a persons with disabilities accessibility regulation. So that there will be a reference point. Because coming into this place, I saw that as old as this building, I think this building predates the act, but you see accessibility features. So it's beginning to, now you go to some other places that incorporated accessibility features, you discover that their dimension, their specification and the specification you use there may not be the same, but then you're providing a ramp. But they are not the same. But what the regulation has done is to give a standardized, specification. So what you see in Abuja should be what you see in Lagos when it comes to toilet size, when it comes to, ramps and all that. So it is that standardization that, the regulation has achieved. And regulation being a subsidiary of the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act 2018, it draws its power from there. Now, the regulation itself, again, points out that there should be a guideline, because the regulation is meant to generate funds somehow, because disability is a lot of money. So you generate money again that will help to service and manage disability. So the regulation said that you have to develop a guideline that will prescribe fees and modalities for enforcement of the regulation. Now we are looking at 3 documents, two documents, trying to frameworks, trying to unbundle the first one.
Well,
but the commission is working this out, and in few days or months, weeks to come, there will be a formal rollout, and then I believe that those cases, you begin to see those cases actually in court. But people are saying you don't have to fill everywhere with cases relating to disability. Indeed. Because from the civil and from the criminal point of view, there is a whole lot of infringement against disability. And then because these infringements have been there, it has pushed into a whole lot of stigma, because of inability of people to fit into places. They, psychologically, they are way down. Yes. And when they are way down, you can, approach the person, and because the person needs time to come out of that psychological downturn, then you begin to, look like, does this person have capacity or not? So a whole lot, of these cases, we are going to see them in the days to come.
Okay.
Recently, the commission trained judges and justice actors to prepare them so that when a case comes to court, because recently a case actually came to court, but the court struck it out. Is it banks? Why are banks not accessible to persons with disabilities? And the matter came to court, and on technicalities, the court struck it out. So we now say we need to get these judges to know and understand that the law has criminalized those things that you look at as ordinarily in the past. Nuances, side talks, common things that you could say before and it does not amount to anything. Now, the law has said they are aspects of discrimination. You can use your words to, make somebody feel bad and terrible.
Psychologically.
So we need to get the judges, the justices, the police officials, and others to understand that discrimination is actually a crime now, and they should be part of, the process to see that these things are, sorted out and stopped.
Indeed.
Yeah, because we pray that the legal framework comes to an end soon, and we see a brighter future for these people. Because whether you like it or not, your psychological health, like you pointed out, is very, very key, and it stems from there. So I'll come back to Mr. Lawrence again. So we're talking challenges. And I would like to ask you, in your own sphere, what are the major challenges you encounter? Do you think the society is inclusive enough for people facing your kind of disability?
The answer is no. Society is not inclusive enough because they never care to know our feelings. Can you imagine if I go to an office now seeking for information, the next thing you see is somebody come out with 200 naira note. I'm not coming to bed.
Too bad.
Oh, no.
The way I'm there should tell you enough. But society see every person as a beggar. You need to change this perspective.
Indeed.
Nothing kills much than attitude.
Indeed.
Our attitude needs to change. And Nigeria especially need to know that person with disability can aspire to any level. Only what give them the opportunity. We used to say ability. Now we have shifted to productivity in disability.
Oh,
we are producing.
We are producing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Many men.
Nice.
All we need is encouragement. Give us the enabling
environment.
And then you can see the wonder for person with disability. We go to sport, the able people are not able to win any medal. But person with disability go, they bring medals.
Back laurels all the time. Yes, yes.
The Winter Olympics.
Even the women, you know, they lift, weightlifters.
Yes.
We have doctors among us.
Yes.
We have businessmen. Encourage them. Recently, we tried to train people, small, medium enterprise, so that they can start business for themselves to become productive. No ability, no more. Ability, yes, but productivity, so that we too can contribute our quota to Nigeria.
National development.
Budget for my commissioner, for example, is nothing to write home about. When will they see that the need of one person with disability is more than the need for one person with disability, his need is more than 10% without disability. So government need to think of a way to help our people. So many, 35.5 million persons with disability is enough to win the presidency. If all of us should come together and decide we want a person with disability to become
president.
Indeed.
Indeed, it is possible. Yes. It is possible. Well done, and thank you for that enlightenment, Mr. Lawrence Edelifo. Barrister, can I talk with you a little bit? Because as a lawyer, okay, good thing. You know that we have our artist in the house, so while the conversation is going on, it would be good to have him enrich our package today. So Samuel Gabriel, our brother, I know you're there. I know you have special things lined up for us to savor and sweeten our conversation today. So can you play us another number? You're taking us back memory lane.
Yes,
Where are you taking us this time? Let's applaud him again. That's encouraging our brother.
Yes. Yes.
Feel free to start.
My son.
Go ahead, Mr. Gabriel. Sakzadi.
I felt that coming. I felt that.
Are you serious?
Thank you.
Well done! No. If you marry taxi driver, I don't care. If you marry baby lawyer, it doesn't matter.
Thank you so much, Samuel.
Oh, God,
that was
amazing.
Indeed.
Okay, tell me you're taking us on.
Okay, where are we going to now? Actually, while we were, he was playing, a message came. He said, where is Samuel? That means they wanted more editions from his stable. Good thing. It's a great thing that we're having this conversation, because I know that one thing that we hope this conversation can do is to break down stigmas and stereotypes. Yeah. You know, you recall what Mr. Phillips was saying a minute ago, that once you see somebody with a disability, you assume that he or she is there to beg, they want to take. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's telling us now that they want to change the narrative. They want to give back, and they have so much they want to give. Does it break back on at this time?
Okay. No, well, we continue our conversation, and I would like to talk to Barrister. You know, my problem will be, looking at, there are so many parents watching you today whose children might have one disability and the other. I don't know how deep or how far the message that you are sharing with us, are you talking to, reaching out to parents, especially in the hinterlands, to say, it's not all, there's light at the end of this tunnel, just to encourage parents who are fighting the same, or who are on the same journey?
Yeah, structures have been, put in place, especially through the worship centers and the local government, local government area councils, to be able to infiltrate into the hinterlands. And, it's about, like you have been saying before, it's about attitude. Because the attitude of this, from the society to parents of children with disabilities go, a long way to make them to, shy away from presenting their wards with disabilities. So society seems to ostracize a woman that has a child with disability, especially the ones that are, congenital. It makes it look like the woman, there is a curse on the family. So from a cultural setting that has, over the years, stigmatized disabilities, even in the days of the Bible, you could see that at a point, Jesus had to tell them that, no, it is not this man's fault. It's not the father's fault. It's not the mother's fault. It's just for the, the work of God to, to be made manifest. Because if there were no persons with disabilities in his time, he couldn't have healed anybody. Indeed. So now you're seeing transformation, you are seeing changes, you're seeing productivity from persons with disabilities. It's still part of that making, the good works, God's work manifest. Because some people are completely out when they see some things, persons with disabilities, how easy, like we talked about the sports, how easy. People think that getting Paralympic medals is just easy. You are competing with everybody, people from different parts of the world. And then the Nigerians will go there and pick those medals and come back. And people think that it's actually easy or is of a lower quality or standard. Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. So because of that stigma, and mind you, what makes disability definition is the impairment. Then you talk about the environmental barriers, and you talk about attitude. So attitude is critical.
And attitude is us.
Attitude is us. Society.
We can do better.
I remember those days. I go to Lagos building in the University of Nigeria campus. You have Lagos, you have Abuja. You go to that place, you have 7 a.m. lecture, and then it's on the 2nd or 3rd floor.
Wow.
And then there is no elevator.
Wow.
Then you discover that when you come there, you get to the staircase, you're seated on your wheelchair, you're looking up, you're looking down.
Oh, God.
Most times, if you don't see anybody to take you up, you miss those lectures.
You miss those lectures, wow.
I told myself, I say, it's like, God really, God has special love for me. Because by the time I was going into the university, there is a lecture theater that is completely downstairs, built by Koscharis Madoka for the...
Nice.
But today, University of Nigeria, the law faculty has transformed. They have ramps to,
so that people can
so
go
that
and
people
have their
can.
lectures.
So it is a very dynamic, situation that I believe that other universities should, emulate. So going back to your question, the attitude of the society is what is causing the major issues that we are having, especially at the grassroots.
Okay, thank you so much. We would like to know how many lawyers you know who are also working and thinking just like you are. But when we come back, we'll talk about that. You're watching Weekend Deal. Our focus today on the show, like you have seen and been inspired by, is the unique world of disabilities. We'll take another break. We'll be back. Please don't go away. And thank you for your messages. Please keep them coming.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, it is your favorite weekend show on TV, Weekend Deal. And this weekend, today, we're focusing on the unique, amazing world of disability. Mr. Lawrence here just told us that we should say disability productivity in disability, that they are productive, and they have shown it in no small measure today in the studio. And now, to scale up our conversation, it's another guest is joining the house. She is the acting director. She's the director voice of Disability Initiative VDI, and she is barrister Ede Catherine Chinyere. Let's see her profile.
Hello.
Then we show your profile.
We welcome you very warmly, Barrister Chinyere Catherine Ede. Welcome you to Weekend Deal.
Thank you.
Okay, nice one. We have talked expansively. We've identified some challenges that people with disabilities face in Nigeria, and we've heard from lawyer Barrister Ikem about the progressive steps that have been taken to make it easier. He has also reminded us that the mindset of the society needs to change so we can break down irrelevant barriers, stereotypes, and stigmas. But if I were to ask you a direct question, Barrister Catherine, where are those critical areas that you think that government can step in quickly to bring positive change in the shortest possible time? Oftentimes we are waiting for policies and laws to be passed, but are there short-term measures we can take to ease the burden of people with disabilities in Nigeria at this time? Where do we start?
Okay, thank you very much. I will start by thanking you for the honor of inviting me to this program. It is a privilege. I thank you. Then on your question, we have Disability Act. I have listened to Barrister Ikem discuss on that. So I will say that your question, what can government do? We have to focus on implementation, effective implementation of the provision of the Act, and ensure that all states domesticate it. Where we have problem in Nigeria is always with implementation. We are always legislating, but when it comes to implementation, we lag behind. For instance, see the Disability Act. We have already made the 5-year transitory period. And if, even with that, we go to different public offices. Federal government, let us start with federal government offices. How many public structures are complying with the provisions of the Act? We still struggle. Barrister Ikem was talking about our legal system, the commission working to train people from justice sector, and how somebody brought a case that has to do with compliance with the provision of the Act, and the court struck it out. That is the issue we have in Nigeria. We are not strictly complying with implementation. And because of this, citizens will not strictly adhere to the provision. When there is no law, no strict implementation, the lawyer are not even informed. I'm the lawyer, I'm deaf. Why did I go into NGO sector? Because the justice system is not inclusive. How many people we engage in as a deaf lawyer to handle their cases? They will not believe in me. They will not. Even with this means that I will not have much clients. Even if I happen to have few clients, and I go to court, how will I handle it? When the system is not inclusive. This was the thought that was in my mind when I was completing my program in the university and law school. I thought, where do I need to start? I cannot spend all these years and finish, stay unemployed, hungry. When I know that I am an asset, I have a lot to offer. This was when I look at the human rights angle. And I know disability rights is from human rights. This is the good place to start. Advocacy. And I know that what we are doing is working. Because we are engaging the government, connecting with them, collaborating with them, influencing them. Most of them, because of our new what African mindset about disability, perception, I can't believe anything. Even with exposure, they still lag behind when it comes to disability issue. This is why we have to work with them, stay close, find somebody who we feel has the passion and has the influence, not all of them in government. So I'm sorry I'm taking too long.
Yeah, okay. That's why.
Your question, government, to answer your question, government need to start strict implementation of the provisions of Disability Act and ensure that states all domesticate and also ensure implementation at state level. But I will also come to women. Please, we should not leave women behind. This is the main reason I am here. Thank you very much.
Wow. If I say we are inspired today, it's an understatement. If I say we are, I'm repeating myself. If I say we are inspired today, it's an understatement. And I want to say thank you all for your doing, especially for a woman. Let me be a bit biased. Especially for women, I know what we go through as women generally. And then to have this challenge and you're doing what you're doing, we say well done. Okay, the conversation is on and it's going to go on. We'll go for a break right now.
Patience has called for a break.
Goes on the microphone, Phoenix, this us man, I want to dance here like there is no tomorrow. I want to shake your body, dance away my sorrow. I want to dance here like there is no tomorrow. I want to shake your body, dance away my sorrow. Happiness is free, brother, come and see. Ask my body.
Okay, yes, thank you so much. We're back. I would come back to Mr. Lawrence, and this is for information. I know for we are doing this. One of the reasons why we're doing this show is for us to understand each other, understand this unique world. We hear of hearing aids. What is the role of hearing aids for people with impairment? Like, what does I thought with hearing aids you should hear. I don't know. I want to know what hearing aid does.
Hearing aid do not work for every individual. For me now, you can see I don't have any. There are those who may have made hearing left, can amplify sound for them. For me now, if I put on hearing aid, when anything moves, I will just vibrate, which is not good enough. Apart from hearing aid, we have what we call cochlear implant. But that one is very, very expensive. Okay. You take about $40,000 to have it on you. It works well for some people. But again, you know, in all this, it's a 50-50 chance. If you go for operation to fit cochlear implant, you can either succeed or you fail. And when you fail, you may be well done your initial stage. Some people think that every deaf person should use hearing aid. Not everyone. No, it depends on the level of loss. We call decibel. For me now, I'm 95, 8 dB loss. So hearing aid will not fit me. It works for some. It don't work for others. And the type we have in Nigeria are old-fashioned hearing aid. Advanced digital hearing aid. That one can reduce sound when the environmental sound is too much, or make it high when it is too low for the deaf person to hear. But again, it depends on test and on individual.
May I respond to that?
Yes, this is okay.
Yes, what do you think? May I respond to that about the hearing aids and technology that is available for?
That we have in Nigeria, like my colleague, Mr. Lawrence C, is old type, and me, I have never used hearing aid because the type in Nigeria I tried gives me a headache. And again, I don't have any residual hearing. I am a profoundly deaf person, so hearing aid can't work on me. Most of us, over 80% of us deaf, even 90%, hearing aid can't work on us.
Okay, thank you very much, Barrister Catherine. It's all what we're bringing everything to the fore. There are needs that we need to meet as quickly as possible, and there's no time for slow pacing, because you have shown us the dexterity of people with disabilities. Very, very special and inspiring group, I must say. Barrister Ikem, let me talk with you. One of the biggest challenges Nigeria, other countries on the continent, and in fact the world faces today is the stigmas and the stereotype. And we'll say it's more vibrant in the African continent, because our cultural disposition leads us to assume that oftentimes these are spiritual attacks or challenges of the like. What would you desire? People with disabilities, what would they desire? What are they asking of the society to do? Give us a message, like 3 main things that we can change very quickly. The world is watching. What can we, citizens of Nigeria, change immediately to ease the burden that many of our brothers and sisters carry? Because we love you so much. And what will make life easier for you will be our pleasure to do. And I'm sure I'm speaking for an entire nation.
Absolutely.
It's okay. Thank you very much. For me, is the story of the man in the mirror. You look at the mirror, anybody you see there,
that's the man.
See that person as a person with disability. You look at the mirror, you see Thelma, you tell yourself, Thelma is a person with disabilities. Now, there's this principle of we and the principle of they. When you use the word they in disability management, you're taking disability outside. They are persons with disabilities. But when you say we are persons with disabilities, because believe it or not, if you aspire to live old, somebody said you can't say 35.5 million Nigerians are persons with disabilities. I say no. When you consider from 65 to 90 something, 80% of people in that sector are persons with disabilities. 65 to 100, the person is living with a disability. So when you compute that figure, you discover that we are progressing to 40 million Nigerians with disabilities. So when you look at yourself in the mirror and say disability can come, in secondary school, he was visited with disability. It came unannounced.
Yeah.
Vibrant. It came. You discover you have a child, and the child have beaten the autistic stage. In 4 years, 5 years, you feel comfortable. I have a very good child, active. Suddenly, polio. Now, you have vaccination, and we don't know, has these vaccines, what are the components? Is it even expired? The cold region component of the vaccine, was it even met? Where you have, power challenges, and then you're giving vaccination, and we are confident that polio is out of reach, and then suddenly, cold comes, and the child, at the end of it all, you discover that this child can no longer walk. So everybody, inch by inch, we are all potentials.
Yes.
We can't. Even when we say in Nigeria, God forbid. But who knows what God forbids and what he does not forbid? Now, if we see ourselves in that, within that circle, then we ask ourselves, how would I want to be treated? Assuming I'm a person with disability, how would I want to be treated? And then when you answer that question, that way you want to be treated, you met out that treatment to the person you see now that has that disability. And again, we say person, we personalize it. But when we say people with disabilities, we still put it as a third party. We still put it as a third party. So we say person.
So even the way we speak.
Even the way we speak. So when we say persons living with disability, we are making disability a sickness. The man has come out of the impairment, but what is making him a person with disability is the environment and the attitude. So when we describe him as a person living with disability, we are equally meting out stigma. We are pushing him outside the circle.
We've removed the living.
Yeah, remove the living.
Immediately.
A person with disability, persons with disabilities. So within that circle, if we find all of us within that circle, then we can relate very well. And that is what inclusion and mainstreaming is all about. If we find ourselves, all of us, within that circle of the human rights, window, corridor, then all of us, we will relate well there and be happy. So that is it for me. The man in the mirror.
The man in the mirror. Inclusivity is key. We must look at it holistically from that angle. I'll come back to Barrister Catherine. I'll come back to Barrister Catherine. We almost have everybody's backstory, how they got affected. Can you tell us a little about how you got, affected?
Thank you.
Are you hearing?
Thank you very much. I became deaf around the age of 9. I was not born deaf. I think it was because of air pollution. Because I'm from Enugu State, and Enugu is known for coal mining. They have suspended it now because of the harsh effect of it. In my village, there is a coal industry where they burn it, turn it to for ready material for road, and the stench, the level of air pollution is out of this world. Every time I'm at home, I suffer because my body, the type of body I have, is very, very sensitive. I'm always avoiding things. Not that I easily fall sick, no. I don't easily fall sick. But small thing, my body will react. So when I was a kid, I was always dealing with this air pollution. Then, one December, during Governor Chimaruke's time, he was doing all the road in Enugu, and it passed through my area. The doors, Jehovah, they did not hasten it. So the doors was hard, coupled with the cool, stench of the cool. I found myself sick. We thought it was malaria. I think it was inflammation of the membrane or something like that because I inhaled so much. So first they took me to a chemist. The chemist looking at me because I was in coma, not waking up for 24 hours. No food, nothing. So they forced me to a chemist. The chemist looking at me, refused to handle me, said that it is a case above them. So they went to a bigger pharmacy. They looked at me, evaluated me, still refused to handle me. So they took me to a small clinic. The clinic still refused to handle me. Asked them to take me to a Parkland General Hospital in Enugu. That was where I was admitted. I stayed there for 1 week. I did not wake up. I wasn't coma because that thing has really knocked me out. But I was not dead. So, Bakele said that my case is above them, that they should transfer me to UNTH. It was there that if you see the type of treatment I was given, everyone in it, you know the number of doctors working there, including student doctors. This one will come and inject and leave. Another will come and inject. They turned me to experiments. Whoa. My fingers were so swollen. They don't even inject me here. Only on the waist. Shoulder, back, even the skull. I woke up one day, only to see a big plaster. My head shaved, Mahala, and the big plaster. I started asking what happened. That there was a procedure done on me, on the head. I was there for 1 month, but I healed. But without a scan. I saw myself deaf in the new world. Completely and profoundly deaf.
Hi.
And it was said that it was the effect of the injection. Name of the injection, Kurodanfeniko, now banned in Nigeria because it's very powerful. They were just trying to save my life. So they resorted to a very powerful injection. Since others don't seem to be working. And then the effect pushed me to become deaf.
Wow.
That's sad.
Thank you for sharing your personal
That's
story
sad.
with us, Barrister Catherine. You have enriched our lives. You have also humbled us. Because in spite of all of that, see where you are today. Talking to the
Honestly.
world about things that hitherto we were not so knowledgeable about. It's a very interesting experience to be here with you. Thank you. Thank you for coming to share. Thank you for your honesty and forthrightness. We are at the peak of the program. A very interesting package indeed.
Thank you so much, Godwin. It's our prayer that our super falcons will fly, shine, and bring home the accolades. So, I mean, it's so good to hear from our captain, Desire Okwanoze, tell us that yeah, we can do it, and we'll do it by God's grace. Okay, we are, like Thomas said, at the almost ending the show. So let's say our closing words, and I'll begin with ladies first. Okay, yes, I'll go to... Okay, I wanted to go ladies first, but Thomas told me, no. Barrister was actually saying something before we went on the break. So, Barrister, your closing remarks.
Yeah, I was going to say that most cases of disabilities in Nigeria actually result from medical negligence. And in Nigeria, we don't have strict sensu. We don't have laws that make medical, doctors, medical people in the medical, industry, liable for negligence. We have a patient's bill of rights, but it is what it is, a bill, and challenging it in court, has not really been done. So these things are, they keep going on, and at the end of the day, people slip into disability as a result of one negligence or the other, and we seem to be helpless about it. And I believe that, and I hope that our lawmakers will look into this issue of medical negligence and put up something that people can assert their rights through that platform.
Thank you, Barrister Ikem.
Okay.
Mr. Fidelius.
Mr. Fidelius.
Lawrence.
Your closing.
Lawrence, yes.
I always say, I'm one of the people that don't have a negative feeling about my country. That is why I even came back as a fourth fellow. That is why I'm saying, we are both fourth fellows. The government has started by giving us a commission. They need to fund it to meet the need of persons with disability. Secondly, we should not leave the issue of persons with disability to government alone. Let it start from the home. Philanthropists, big company, everybody contribute. That is what other countries do. For example, in Singapore, they have what they call the disability fund. where everyone make money to make sure that issue of passing disability are met as at when due. We hope that we will reach that level in Nigeria. Thank you.
Most
thank you so much, Mr. Lawrence. Let's hear from Barrister Catherine.
I will say that government should recognize organizations like VDI who are doing much to ensure disability inclusion that is effective in Nigeria is happening. Our advocacy is doing a lot, but we admit that we do not have the level of government support that will make things more effective. We need more government support. For example, now we are doing projects where we are looking for adolescent girls with disability and enrolling them back into the school, including those that are single mothers, but adolescent girls. We are all doing this with funding, no matter how limited it is from outside the country.
Mr. Samuel
Nigerian
Gabriel.
government should also come in and
Samuel
support.
Gabriel.
Well
Yes,
done,
Mr.
well done.
Samuel, thank you so much. Mr. Samuel, go on, start.
Well done, sis. Well done, well done.
Thank you so much. everyone.
Amazing, amazing.
Mr. Samuel, you're live.
Alicia.